Hey, Raindrops. Look, I got some very exciting news to share with you all. Starting this Saturday, I got my boy, y'all favorite content creator and love and marriage expert, Dustin Ross, stepping in to my YouTube channel to talk to the cast of Love and Marriage DC. Yes, Love and Marriage DC new season kicks off Saturday, January 27th. And every week, Dustin will be interviewing a cast member from the show. Y'all gonna get all the tea, all the mess, and the rest for the whole season. This is so good. I need you guys to welcome Dustin Ross with a very, very, very raindrop type of welcome. Let me hear the applause. Yes! All right. So look, make sure I'm crazy. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel and hit the notification button so you do not miss an episode. I love you, Raindrops. And don't worry, I'm still gonna do my thing now, child. Know that. Mwah!
Ashley,
Nice to meet you, Dustin.
it is so damn nice to meet you, Ashley. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good.
That's good. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know it was last minute with the scheduling, and that's literally our Bible, right? Our schedules.
Right. Yeah,
Thank you
but I'm
so much.
fine. It's good.
Perfect. Well, first of all, Ashley, I want to say thank you for what you've contributed to Love and Marriage DC and to reality television overall. I've had many conversations with Carlos where I share with him how you were a one of a kind. You're one of those rare cases where you're just born for reality television. You
Oh,
are. You have
oh,
a very strong presence on camera that feels good, right? You have been unafraid to share very personal, vulnerable information. Look how much you've given us with the story with your mom and just your background. And all of that takes a lot. So I want to just congratulate you on an incredible run thus far on Love and Marriage DC. We appreciate you.
I appreciate that. It is pretty difficult. I think for some people to be vulnerable, but
Mhm.
I've always been an oversharer, so I
Mhm.
feel like this is a good space for me.
You were made for this, and it's evident every time we see you on camera. We love seeing you as a mom. We love seeing you running your businesses. It's been a minute since we checked in with you last. So in the meantime, since we've seen you last time, what's going on with Fashion Ashton? What's going on with Do That Shit, the book? What's going on with all your projects right now?
So there is so much going on. Fashion Ashton, which is obviously named after my daughter Ashton.
Yes.
We have a new, I don't want to call it a new business, but a new component to Fashion Ashton coming soon. If you guys can tell, the teens and tweens, that all the rage about skincare and
Yeah.
everything. So Fashion Ashton is coming out with her own skincare line, which will be out very, very soon this spring, which we are working really hard on to making sure it's good for their skin, but that everybody can use it as well. Unlike a unisex beard oil, it is for everyone, beards
Here
or
we
not.
go. See, that's the Ashley Silver stuff that we love, right? So that's great. Congratulations on expanding and extending the Fashion Ashton brand. I think
Hey.
it's really smart. You just want to say it when you hear it, Fashion Ashton, Fashion Ashton. You just want to keep
Yeah, it's so
repeating.
funny
So,
because it's a name she came up with her for herself when she was like 3, and we
wow.
just started calling her that because she would love to play in my stuff and
Mhm.
put on a bunch of scarves or fur vests or whatever, just walk around the house and we'd be like, oh, Fashion Ashton's here.
Yes, well, that's good. We love to hear all that good stuff. And speaking of the good stuff that we love to hear, shows like Love and Marriage DC, these ensemble reality shows, right? The heart and soul of these shows is the friendship that exists among the cast members, right? And
Mhm.
so through the first season, we would love to see that even in the off season, we would see events that you would attend with the Tylers, and we would see you with Joy and Clifton at certain events, and you guys would be maybe together off camera, you know what I mean, in the beginning as you were building your relationship. So talk to me a little bit, Ashley, about how we got to the point where we revisited you guys this time and we see you and our girl Erana in what appears to be a conflict among friends. How did we get to that place?
Uh so when it ends and when it comes back on, we are still at the Christmas party, and I did feel a little slighted that Erana went out to check on Joy.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't really feel like it was such a big deal, but in the moment I was heated. I'm just like, girl, if you could run outside after her, the door locks, stay on the other side of the door, stay outside with her ass. That's where you could go. But to not give too much away,
Mhm.
we it was quickly resolved.
Wonderful. That's what we love to hear because that was a new experience for us. We've seen you guys basically be two peas in a pod, you and Erana, as
Yeah.
we've been watching this season. So it was an interesting shift to see nonetheless, but we love hearing that resolution does come on the other side of that argument. We love
Yeah.
hearing that
A resolution comes in that moment.
in that moment.
Yeah.
Good. But we love to hear that that moment is
Yes,
resolved. I'm
that
picking
moment.
up what you're putting down. Now, this joy thing, I guess where can we start? First of all, why don't you add a little context? Because I hate it when people are framed as just saying things and having a certain intention. So I would love to give you the floor and let us know what you meant as far as you being responsible or being involved in the introduction of Joy and Clifton to the Love and Marriage DC group.
So season one, I did a bunch of interviews with other own personalities before as our show was coming on. Their
Mm-hmm.
season was going off as ours was coming on. Joy at the time, I did an Instagram live with her. She was in Mexico. She had been in Mexico since they had finished filming their show.
Mm-hmm.
She worked over there
Mm-hmm.
singing. And what are you laughing at?
You go ahead, Ashley.
I'm not even doing anything.
She
I'm just
works over there
sitting
singing.
back.
Okay,
She was
okay.
singing. That's what she did.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, Fiesta then. Okay, what's going on?
But no. So while she was over there, she and I would talk, we would text. And
Mm-hmm.
I told her, I was like, so this is our season one. I was like, that's crazy. You have been over there for a year. You guys haven't even lived in the same space yet. She was saying like she was thinking about moving back. I was like, if you move back, would you want to do reality TV again? I'm sure that the own viewers would love to see like the continuation of you guys' relationship, how it's progressing,
Absolutely.
how, you have been able to manage having a long distance relationship. He's been here in DC, you've been in Mexico. So we were having, this is how early in the season it was. We were
Mm-hmm.
having our premiere party
Mm.
and she asked me if I could put Clifton on the guest list.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, of course, I would love for them to come. So I invited some of their other castmates from from the show they were on. Me and him met there. I said the same thing to him, like, would you be interested? Like, we shared a producer in common. I was like, they told me you guys were the favorites because I hadn't watched the show. I was like, they told me you guys were the fan favorites, so I feel like
Mm-hmm.
people would love to see your journey. He was like, yeah. I talked to the producers about it. Boom, bam, the beginning and the end. When Joy moved back, they were like, okay, Joy's hanging out with the Tylers now. This is perfect. Like, she's friends with you, she's friends with the Tylers. So it's an easy way to bring them in. I was like,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's great. The Tylers, Jamie keeps saying, like, oh, he knew Clifton because Clifton came to some of his parties. I go to parties all the time. People there. You don't fucking, that don't mean you know
Yeah.
them. The
Yeah.
people at parties. The real story is after, once the show coming on, Clifton slid in Jamie's DMs to try to start hanging out with him a little bit more. And so they did start hanging out a little bit more. Once Joy came back, I think Erana met her. And then we were filming like a month and a half later, 2 months.
Right. So it sounds to me like, as far as the timeline is concerned, right? You had pitched them essentially to Kingdom Reign and to Own. And then as they were developing their friendship with the Tylers, there may have been some conversation as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Sharing.
there
Yeah.
was a conversation. I think that after once we were getting a sense that Monique wasn't in,
Mm-hmm.
other cast members have been asked like who would they want to pitch because I had suggested the Tylers, I mean the Duncans and the Patties
Mm-hmm.
before Monique was even leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like we needed some people, another couple, and whether the Samuels were coming back or not.
Right. Just to supplement the cast. Yeah.
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 And then especially because like with the Duncans, I've known Shirella for 12, 14 years. And
Hmm.
then again, it made sense because I found out about Gutter Barbie the summertime. I was like, oh, so this is a good tie-in to
Yes.
everybody, So even because there were other cast members like, well, we don't want Winter back. We're not going to film with her. I was like, Winter's fucking coming back, so it might as well make sense.
Yeah, and Winter is a great addition to the show. And so are the Duncans as well. Shout out to Sharella. Great, breathe fresh new life into the show. Wonderful addition. As a viewer, I love the pivot that has occurred in your relationship with Winter, both on and off camera and soon to be on camera as we get
Yeah.
to see you guys engage as friends. Talk to me about how that took place. How did you guys find? Because both of you are not very easily persuaded. We'll put
Oh,
it
at
like
all.
that.
At
Yeah.
all. I think that we realized that we were more alike than not.
Hmm.
I remember having a conversation with Carlos, I think at the beginning of season 2, and he was like, what would you have done if Winter wouldn't have come back? I would have been bored as hell.
Yeah.
Like, you need a good sparring partner.
Yes. Yes, you do.
And she is that.
Yep.
I don't feel that from anyone else. Like, yeah, people can get mad and yell and scream, but it's like in this argument, are we having intelligent thoughts? Am I like, is this a good argument or is this
Hmm.
just a screaming match? Because it's a difference. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
There's a huge
So
difference.
yeah, Winter and I, we could go and be in a courtroom and plead these cases. You know what I mean? So I think that after a while, after her romanticization and she had like extended an olive branch and I invited all the girls out to like make drinks and stuff. While we were actually on Christmas break, I was like, you know what? We had 4 more months to go.
Hmm.
It was like something has to change. Like if every single time we see each other, we just gonna be screaming and yelling, it's like it's not gonna work. So I talked, it was a group chat with me, her, Erana, I want to say Sharella, maybe my best friend Alicia. And I was like,
Hmm.
hey girls, I'm gonna do a girls' night. I want us all like because it is kind of hard getting to know each other on camera, like in depth. Like
Yeah.
we're there to work, there are certain things we have to talk about.
Yeah.
So I'm not asking you about, oh, what are your favorite foods on camera?
Right. Right.
So like those just kind of things. And then everyone came over except for Raina because she said she didn't want to be around Winter. So they
Hmm.
never really developed like an outside friendship. But after that time, she and I were really able to talk. Um, and then I don't know if you guys get to see it this season, but there were, really sincere apologies thrown our
Hmm.
way. I feel like last season, a lot of people felt like Winter was attacked by us. And it was like, yeah, I see what this bitch was saying about mine. Like, are you crazy? But
Right.
there were like sincere apologies given, accepted, and then we were like genuinely able to move forward.
What do you like most about Winter, Ashley?
Like I said, I think that she has a really smart, sassy mouth. I think the
Hmm.
difference between hers is she has that little country twang on it.
Yes, she
So
does.
it's like she could tell you F you with a smile, darling.
Yep. Sweetest. It's just sweetly. Yes.
And
Yep.
sweetly. And mine is more fuck you, bitch. And hers is I don't gotta care for you, honey. Like something like that. It's the same thing.
Yeah, well, I love that. And speaking of friendship too, I want to know a little bit more about your friendship with Westmore, Governor Westmore, who
Okay.
we got to see you and your husband quick. We got to see you guys on your way to a celebration for him. How long have you guys known the mayor?
So I am the governor.
The governor, excuse me. I'm all over the damn
You
place.
all over the place, child.
Mhm.
Yes, the first Black governor
Yes.
of Maryland. Look, I'm about to say Baltimore. See, but I met Wes. I think it was like 2015. We have
Mhm.
a mutual friend in common, and his book, The Other Westmore, had just come out, and I had my blog, I'm Super Gorge at the time, and I interviewed him for that. And the friend we have in common, Dia, she's best friends with Dawn. And so from that, we just had a friendship. So
And a
we were very,
connection.
yeah, and we were very excited when he decided to run for governor. Very excited when he won for governor, and Quick was the official DJ for his inauguration.
We love to see that. We love to see you guys being, people of society and engaging in events like that on that level. That's what the viewers like to see as aspirational, right? And so, speaking of things being aspirational, why do you think that Joy and Clifton, or Clifton, as you like to say, right? Why do
Well,
you think
it's
that
not
they?
it's not me. So, obviously you
Uh-huh.
guys know some things are cut off. So when we talk about Erana, we say Raina. Sometimes when they talk about me, they say Ash. So in conversation, I'm talking about her and I'm like Cliff, and he's like Clifton. Like, okay, okay, Clifton.
Okay, we're gonna hyphenate it then. Clifton.
Exactly. So
That's his name.
now you got a new name.
So why do you think Joy and Clifton think that you may be jealous or envious of their presence on this cast? Where do you think that's coming from, Ashley?
I don't think that they believe that.
Mm,
I
okay.
think it's easy to say. I really do think when people are on television, no matter how big, how small, they sometimes can have an inflated personality. So Joy
Hmm.
said, we were on a TV show before me. Actually, Ashley's been on multiple TV shows that she's been paid for.
Hmm.
You weren't. I literally started doing television in 2010. I've
Hmm.
worked behind the scenes and in front of the camera. So again, these are things you don't know, Joy. That because again, it's like, why would I pitched you because you were on another show
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
find for you to go and find love. I'm not jealous that you had to go find love among 40 other people, that you had to go find a best friend and share your husband with him. I'm not jealous of that. There are other things that I said that were cut out because it's just like, as a viewer, you guys have been bamboozled by everything that has they've said and presented on the show.
So you think we've been completely bamboozled by Joy and Clifton
Yeah,
thus
what I
far?
do know is that the Tylers have lived in their home for years. We
Hmm.
have lived in our home for years. They didn't live in their home before we started filming the show. I don't think they live there now neither.
The home that we saw them purchase
Her
earlier. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's interesting because we also saw a clip where Irena and Joy were shopping in a hardware store, and Irena shared with Joy that she thought that maybe your ego had been a little bruised by Joy standing up to you.
No, I prefer people to stand up to me. I might
Okay.
have been I
Well,
when
yeah,
I
you just said you appreciated Winter for being a good
yeah,
sparring
when I
partner.
met I've never thought Joy was soft.
Mm-hmm.
It's so what you guys didn't get to see is prior to filming when she first came home from Mexico, like me and her would hang out often.
Mm-hmm.
Come here, we would go to dinner, we would go out to drinks. Like I didn't think Joy was a fragile woman who didn't have a mind of her own at all.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that. So no, I don't think my ego is not bruised that she stood up to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I wanted to get your thoughts on that because, especially with that coming from Irena, because you guys do have a friendship, and it seems that you know each other well enough to kind of judge those sort of emotions coming from one another.
Yeah, I would have thought that too
Mhm.
because um Arena is yeah, I don't
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
yeah, no.
So digging just a little bit deeper into the joy of it all, right? Because apparently her axe to grind with you, Ashley, is that you shared the information that her and Cliff Time were already in a marriage, right? Talk to me about that moment when you did share that information, and we obviously have seen you apologize multiple times for essentially betraying a trust that was assumed between the two of you all. But talk to me about your choice to share that information, and also talk to me about how, if you feel it was a big enough um fork in the road for you guys to cause such a divide in the growing relationship and friendship that you were
Mhm.
working on initially.
Well, Alicia asked. They have
Hmm.
been hashtagging the petties. She and Alicia also had each other's phone number, talked. She told Alicia she was her spirit animal. So I feel like on the show, it just seems like Alicia's my friend. She doesn't know her, all of these
Hmm.
things. And that's not they weren't friends, but they were cool enough.
They had a rapport. Yeah.
Yeah. So when Alicia asked, she's like, they're hashtagging the patties, act like they already married. Are they married? I mean, I get no one in the whole world ever would answer their best friend truthfully. Okay. No one would ever do that. Me, yeah. There they are.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, girl, guess what? Joy and Clifton already married. They have been married for months. Like,
Mhm.
honestly, unless somebody asked me, because I hadn't even told Quick, because Quick doesn't ask about them. Like, had she
Mhm.
not asked, I would never have told. Like, but I knew that it was something that would bother Joy, not because I told Alicia. And I
Okay.
think that has bothered me the most because it's not because Alicia knew. It's because
Mhm.
everybody else knew, not Alicia. Her issue was not with Alicia knowing.
So why do you think, and this kind of parallels the conversation that your husband Quick had with Clifton, Joy's husband, where he was kind of saying that he was echoing that sentiment, right? That you guys had basically told first. And since they had found love on television, they were, I guess, kind of gatekeeping that for some purpose. What do you think the purpose was, Ashley? Do you think it kind of nullified an opportunity to sell the story that they were married, or do you think, what do you think was so damning about you sharing that information for the Petties?
I think it's exactly what you just said. I think that
Mhm.
they came up with the whole storyline to say, hey, we're not going to say we're married like they did, pretend they were engaged like they did. And me telling Alicia was not the issue. Me telling Alicia on camera was the
Was
issue.
the issue.
As now everyone else knows. So they're not able to sell. I guess they thought they may get a wedding special or something.
Mm-hmm.
Continue to keep this up. But stay tuned. I
Stay
think it I
tuned.
think it I think it comes out.
Oh, okay. So we're looking forward to getting that information. Um, I also think it was funny and definitely relatable. Everybody knows the number one rule in Black households around the world. What do you do when you come in the house?
Around the world.
Speak.
This is the number one rule. This
Everybody knows that.
not start with me. This ain't start with my mama. This ain't start with my grandmama. Like my grandmother probably would have slapped the shit out of Joy if she would have walked up her house and not spoke.
So when she came in the home and didn't speak, and I know this was a long time ago now, we've been through another Christmas, right? Since
Yes.
this happened.
Yeah.
But when she came into, so jog your memory if you can, did you feel the tension in the air? Was she doing that to let you know, hey, I'm pissed at you because you told my business? And
Yeah.
were you feeling her out? How did you even notice that she didn't speak? Was it just because you saw her there and said, well, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it was Erana, Sharella, and I in a
Mhm.
conversation. When you're talking, you just looking and I see Joy, and I'm like, and she's in a full-fledged conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
She's not walking and looking for coat check. Like,
Yeah.
here, girl. So I was like, okay. So then when I walked up and I'm like, I like reached in for a hug. It was awkward.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you obviously are still upset. Why are you here?
Yeah.
And the first thing out of her mouth is like, well, I just feel like the bridge has been burnt. So why the fuck did you drive over a bridge to come here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you didn't have to be here. And I know I've seen a lot of comments saying, what's her job and all these things. We got a call time. Joy has missed a lot of scenes because
Really?
Joy has there were multiple scenes Joy was supposed to be in, and she missed them, particularly because she didn't want to be around the Duncans. What you guys didn't get to see is my Christmas party is something that I've had. This was our 16th one. I
Right.
have
Christmas Eve, right?
yes.
Yeah.
I have it every single year. So as soon as my birthday is over, I get to planning Christmas
Mhm.
Eve. So I have been talking about it in general. She had said very early on, even before it came out that she was married, she was not coming because she didn't want to be around Sharella. She said
Really?
it multiple times on camera and off camera.
And not Sharella's husband, Sharella.
Sharella, yes. So I'm
Okay.
like, okay, girl, like nobody's begging you to come. So when it came out about the married thing, it's like number one, for months you've already been saying you weren't coming. So I'm definitely not thinking you're coming now. She and Arena had a scene. in which Erana told me, Joy said she's not effing coming. I'm like, okay, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Your presence is not that enjoyable anyway. It's not about to make or break life. Like,
You don't get no joy out of scenes with Joy, Ashley?
I don't think anyone does, except for Erana.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, that's saying a lot. And that would explain why her disposition may have been the way it was when she came in the home, which would move her to not speak. Because from what we see, what we've been presented with of Joy on camera, Joy knows damn well that you speak when you come in somebody's house. She knows that. So that was obviously some nonverbal, very nonverbal communication from her to you.
Exactly. Exactly.
As a viewer, we definitely we want to see resolution ultimately, right? We even if it means agreeing to disagree, that's what we like to see. Yes, we enjoy, the emotional roller coaster of drama amongst the group, but we want to see resolution. That's why we love the fact that you're friends with Winter now in real life, right? That's what we like to see. Do you think that there's a possibility for that sort of place of peace in your relationship with Joy, and then also in your relationship as couples with you and your husband and Joy and her husband?
So my husband never has had any type of relationship with Clifton, like,
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
He he's just not really his type of guy. Like, they have
Okay.
nothing in common.
It
So
seemed like that in their scene too. Because
yeah,
Quick obviously it wasn't a what can we do to mend this conversation? It was very much a listen, I'm supporting my wife. We're gonna
yeah,
be cordial
yeah.
around each
So
other, but know
with
where I stand.
me, I really was fond of Joy when I first met her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was upset that, like I said, I knew that it hurt her because I knew that they had bigger plans for their wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, I don't even know. With Joy, you will see a resolution, and then the roller coaster goes up. It,
Okay.
it may drop again, and then it may go up again and drop again, but you will see a little bit of resolution. As far as couples, absolutely not.
Okay.
Never, ever, 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 ever. And I think that that is okay.
I think it's perfectly fine and it's honest, right? It's adult to be able to see that and
Yeah,
know that we need to just stay in our corners and let there be peace amongst us.
yeah.
What's going on with your relationship with Erana today? What can you tell us without foreshadowing anything to come on the show? What can
Um,
you tell us about your relationship?
it doesn't exist.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. And you guys really don't get to see that on the show because there's no huge, like I said, Christmas happens, and then it's kind of over. Some things happened while we were on break that unfortunately things happening off camera
Right, right.
that sometimes the story doesn't translate that well on camera because you guys don't know what the hell we're talking about. We were off for, I think, between Christmas and in January, we were off for like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So there were a lot of things happening that were discussed, but I can't remember exactly what makes the air.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I just kind of felt like, are you pretending? Are you playing in my face? Like, you really don't understand what's going on? Like, is the comprehension level not working? So
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to feel out what was real and what was not. And it felt like things were just for show. And that continues on with not just her, but with her and her spouse.
Okay. Well, listen, I think that's a great place for us to put a pin in this conversation, right? And we look forward to many more um, layers of this story being peeled back, right? And getting to know you guys even more so. Ashley, thank you so much again for everything you've given to the show. It's been great talking with you today, and we look forward to the rest of this season of Love and Marriage DC.
I am excited.
All right, thank you, love. We'll talk to you next time, Ashley. All right.